turning that charm on to benefit her, and it ain't really never benefiting me because I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I'm doing this because I know this is the way that she'll receive it. And I fail to do it in the way for stuff that I need and want so she can receive it. Do you find yourself doing that?
No.
You turn the charm on for the stuff that you need to or want?
For the stuff I need and want, yeah, of course.
I'm fucking up then. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the According to West podcast. As always, we have DeLaw here.
You have DeLaw, the 1-4 coach. We won by forfeit yesterday. So I take my
yeah, come on, man. Forfeit.
Hey, look, I take a win.
A win is a forfeit.
Mm-hmm. It's District Heights.
A win is not a. You got me, Wes. A win is not a win, Wes.
A win is a win.
Nope.
Look.
That's just like saying, "Oh, shorty giving you sympathy sex," and you're like, "Yep, I got it." I don't want sympathy head. I want to suck the bone off that motherfucking head. I don't want sympathy.
That sympathy head might be just as good as I like your head. She might just do it because
you don't even believe that, and you know that's a lie.
That's because you can see my face that I'm saying.
Yeah, sucking off the bone head is like a whole hell of a lot better. You got me, West and D-Lo line and shit. A win is a win. He don't believe that. What your hoodie say?
You see us now.
You better not wear that to practice today.
I wear it to practice. I wear it to the games. I mean, we're playing in Prince George's County. It's all niggas there. It's just in case the random white person.
I'm talking about the forfeit. Like, they go think like, you know what? Maybe we get some more forfeits under our belt and man.
But yeah, no, we're playing Kettering that day.
When I was playing, we always losing to Kettering. Kettering was hard.
Kettering's a hard team to play.
Hold up, but when you were younger, you played for Kettering, right?
I played for Bowie.
When y'all played Kettering when y'all was younger, was Kettering hard?
Kettering beat us 56-0. If not more. It got so bad they turned the scoreboard off, so I couldn't really determine what the score was.
Oh, jeez Louise, man. Fuck.
You know, there's certain teams that I've played against and coached against that I have yet to ever beat.
Powder Mill.
I beat Powder Mill.
Okay.
We beat Powder Mill. I've lost to Largo every time.
Yep.
I've lost to Evangel Cathedral's basketball team, coaching and playing.
Damn.
I know, right? I lost to so far I have lost to Camp Springs every time now.
Camp Springs, yeah.
I don't count teams that I've only played once. So, like, you know, in football, you only play the teams once. Yeah. I played Atlanta and Laurel. Laurel is now on my list of teams I can't beat because they just beat us in basketball. I haven't played against Bowie. I played for Bowie, but when I played for Bowie, I won a game, but the team, when I got bumped to 85 pounds, won no game. So I went a season of 1 win and all losses.
God dang.
But if I had stayed 75 pounds, we probably would have went undefeated. I was just a different beast at running back when I played at Bowie. Yeah. But when I moved up to 85, they didn't want to play me at running back. And I was like, you know, I get why you don't want to, because your offense and how it's fitting and you have racist motherfuckers like got white kids.
Mm-hmm.
But let me run. Like, put me in that backfield, give me a blocker, I'll get you some yards. Like, let me know I'm being confident, get my confidence up, and let me run the ball.
Right. Yeah.
But it is what it is.
We out there reliving our twilight and our highlights. But yeah, we were just talking about the
tomfoolery
of the government. Yeah. I was just looking at the news not too long ago, maybe like some hours ago. It was like some people got those emails yesterday.
Yeah, I was like
saying the email.
Dude.
Yeah. What have you done in the last 2 weeks that has been important? This, and then reply back to your supervisor with that. So I was like, so based off of what I did the last 2 weeks, that's going to determine if I keep my job. Like, what if the shit is top secret and I can't really tell you what the fuck I did in the last 2 weeks? It's just back. It's all the way foolish.
Yeah. So, because like I was saying, I'm like, first you make me come back to work. Then I come back to work for you just to fire me. Then, and if I'm not part of the 5,000 people that get fired, now you're saying that on a Saturday afternoon when I'm at a basketball game or two, and I'm doing whatever else I'm doing, and I have no federal agency phone, and I'm supposed to be checking an email that I'm not going to get until Monday to describe what I did in the last 2 weeks when we all just did performance evaluations that said that I was exceptional or satisfactory. So I'm not understanding what you're doing. Like it's getting to a point, and I'm not even in the feds in this model.
Yeah, me either.
And it's to a point, okay, fine, you want to downsize the government because you feel like some jobs are useless. I get it. Sometimes they make jobs for people who they don't want to lose, but they don't want to promote. So they give you some sort of job and you just move up your grades that way.
Right.
And now that job becomes a permanent job in that fixture versus once that person's gone, just getting rid of the job. So I get that. But then you need to identify, well, why was this position created? Well, then you either need to reassign that person somewhere else or send all the people to HR and reassign them to positions, get rid of positions or however you got to do it, and then place them in new positions. Or you better give them the best severance package ever.
Yeah, that's what I thought. What was they like what the early talks? Not that I'm for it, but they were saying. I mean, I am kind of for it, but they were talks like, they'll have you work the job for a year or whatever have you. Like if it's not really needed, or they give you a severance and they won't. But this just seems like it's just like I don't think we need this. Like the post office. I'm like, if y'all made it better than what it is.
Yeah, this to me just seems like a mass firing. I gotta get close to my phone. Oh, there we go. This just looks like it's a mass firing of people, as if it's a business. Like, remember when I told you they were firing people when I was at the stockpile?
Yep.
And they were like, all right, well, 4 people are going to be fired today. Or no, they didn't say that. They told us at the end, like 4 people were fired. It wasn't due to anything they did wrong, just that the company, based on blah, 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 we're downsizing.
Yeah.
Businesses do that all the time. The government doesn't. So that means now you want everybody to come in, you fire everybody to save money, but now what you're saving money because now you don't have to pay that big salary, but now unemployment has to kick out all that money. Also, now if your performance review said this from your FS50 and all that other stuff that you have going on, now you might start getting wrongful termination suits because it's like, well, I was terminated for what? And the federal government isn't an at-will thing.
Nah.
And then you're going to say, I am not performing my job efficiently when I just 2 weeks ago got that I was exceptional or whatever the highest thing is. I just got that, but I'm not officially doing my job. So that's your grounds to terminate me.
Right.
You're better off just saying we're going to give everyone that's getting terminated gets a severance package instead of putting a bad taste in everybody's mouth and possibly getting lawsuits that's going to cost the federal government more over the next 4 to 20 years because they're going to be kicking out that money for a long time if everybody decides to file a suit.
Yeah.
And also if they have grounds to file a suit. Yeah. Now, if they don't have grounds, I mean, I guess they ain't worried about, but if they really have grounds, like, I think they said the email says something like, if you don't respond to this email with what you do by such and such Monday or whatever, then that will be taken as you are resigning.
They did that on purpose on a Saturday because it's one of those things where the companies do that because it's non-confrontational, or they just like like if they want to fire you or lay you off, they'll just cut your access over the weekend because they know you're not working. And then on Monday when you come in, you're like, what the fuck? And they can either escort you out or remotely tell you, we're moving in a different direction. But That shit's scary because it's kind of like, yo, like on a Saturday and a Sunday, you could be like knuckle deep in some pussy, deciding if you gonna pull out or leave it in. Decide to leave it in. Now you have a baby coming with no job. That shit stressful.
Not only that, what if I'm out of town? What if I'm out of the country? I'm taking my leave. You know, I worked hard. I'm taking my leave because I'm out in St. Lucia, or so I'm out somewhere, and I'm looking on the news like, what? And I'm out of the country. I don't have access.
Now you stress. Now you like, I ain't buying that extra whatever, because I might not be able to afford it.
Because I might not come back until the following Monday, and I come back. Oh, you didn't send an email. I wasn't here.
Yeah.
Well, blah blah blah. I don't even have a federal agency phone.
Yeah.
So how am I supposed to respond now?
One, I'm not even supposed to take that out the country, because that's what they tell you.
Yeah, you're not supposed
to take it out the country. So it's just kind of like
anything that's with your state agency,
with the government.
Phone, we're not supposed to take that anywhere. So like,
listen, I work for the county, and they tell us not to leave it in.
So it's one of the things like, wow, like is that what we're really doing? Like you're trying to downsize so badly, but for what? Are we? Question is with these firings, are we still being efficient?
Probably not. I think a lot of this feels like they want to privatize a lot of things. Like they might privatize the post office. They might privatize.
I mean, that's what it sounds like. It honestly really does sound like if we get rid of these jobs, because I only got 4 more years here. When I get back into business for myself, I can, get these things privatized to my friends and get a piece of it when I come out. Like it really just sounds like making the federal government a private industry.
Right.
It's like, oh well, we're getting rid of useless jobs. Well, what determines a useless job?
And not only that, sometimes like if there's a path forward to like how, let's just say we want to move as a country into what they call the digital age, you might need those people for maybe like a couple years and then terminate. It would have been, in my opinion, like if I voted for the guy, I would take, we found where we can save money, but it's going to take us 2 to 3 years in order for this to effectively move without any hiccups. They're going to stay on for 2 to 3 years. And that's what I'll be like, oh, okay, he found the waste. You know what I mean? I'm all for finding the waste. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of like, yo, if it's going to, and this is a big if things are going to be better in the country, which I doubt because it's never better. You know what I mean? Like, then yes, I'm all for that. But
honestly, I would have this is what if I was going to do this and I was going to downsize the government, I would have did it on Q1, which is like October 1st. Okay.
All right.
First quarter. So you announced that, okay, we're going to be evaluating everything to Q1. So every agency has time to get everything together, file their papers, and we're going to see what our budget looks like. And then we're going to look at these jobs, and then we're going to cut people. But we're not just firing you just because we're going to fire you. We're going to give you a severance package. So, and you wait till Q1 because that's when everybody's new budget comes in. Right. Because right now they're technically in Q2. So people's, the budgets are set. Mm-hmm. By the time we get to around this year, about June, they're talking about their budget for next year to get that ready. So now you need to wait till we got a solidified budget. And now we can say, okay, now we're going to lay these people off. Instead of firing, let's lay them off. We'll give them a severance package so that they can maintain whatever they need to maintain based on the years. It gives you time to calculate all that shit up. So, you got ways to do it. Like, all right, or how I would prefer to do it. You got a certain amount of years in age, and it adds up to something less than 90. So let's say it's 80. You can get full retirement if you go ahead and retire out now. You know what I'm saying? So now you lose you get some of your workforce that goes, all right, I can get full retirement now. Fuck it. I don't want to do this motherfucker. And if it's still not enough, then you start making those other cuts. You gotta be smart because you can't, because the way they're doing it is now it's like we're firing you, so now you gotta go get unemployment, which is even less versus
the thing is, which is wild. they definitely gonna have to get unemployment because the way, depending on what they did, right? It might be obsolete in the private sector. What they were doing, because we all know the government is behind. Technology might have already took the damn job. So it's kind of like, well, what do I do if I need to work for 6 years before actual retirement kick in?
And
now
that's why I said we lowered about 10 years. So like, let's say someone got 20 years and they only 45, 46. Give them just say, hey, everybody who has
I don't want my retirement at 45.
Well, no, but it's one of the things is either, and this is how you play that game is.
But let's just say we go into a recession because of all of this shit. If that was to happen the way you saying it, and then we go into a recession, those people are probably working till they 70. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. Like, who wants to do that?
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, because think of it this way: if you get depending on how much you were making, you get your retirement, it's probably half of what you were making at your final time. That means, let's say this somebody retires at, like, they say, okay, you got early retirement, you're making 90 grand, you get 45K a year. Yeah. Now you might want to go back to working something hefty to bring in that type of money, or you could find something that's low paying that gives you the extra 45, and now you're working something that's not so bad, and you got your retirement, and you just chilling, answering the phone, saying, "Hello,
that's right.
Can I help you?"
Right.
I'm just looking at it from the point of view, like, you can't just up and just tell people we're going to let you go. Oh, if you're in, and where they're cutting them is like everybody who's in probation to like 3 years, all of them being cut, and they're not having discrimination of probation. I mean, you could been with the government 20 years and just been promoted to being a supervisor of motherfuckers. You're in probation. You're firing. So it's like there's a way to do it, and they're not doing it the right way.
They're not doing the morally, ethically right way. You know what I mean? Like, things do happen, right? Any entity that's hiring you is they're not obligated, but they're within their right to downsize, and
they're completely in their rights. But what you should do is leave it up to the agency to figure out what positions are useful, and let those you literally put people ahead, to head these departments. So they need to call all their chiefs and deputy chiefs, or however they have it set up, and have that hard conversation of, look, if you got somebody on your team that y'all create a position for, there's a dead-end position because y'all just didn't want to let them go. Hey, it's time to, if they got enough years, we're working something out where they can get their retirement, we can get them out. You know what I mean?
Right.
We don't have to fire people who just got here, because imagine I transferred to the feds in July, and all this comes around, and it's like, wow. Like,
I'm gonna tell you like this. This is the feds with it was one of those holy grail jobs for me. Like, just because the nature of what I do, I know I can make a lot of fucking money. I think I'm gonna stay clear.
That's where I'm at now. It's like,
I think I'm gonna stay clear.
The feds used to be that job that if you got there, you don't leave. You don't leave unless someone is offering you double the money. Right. And so you could start out at at the lowest, like getting 33. By the time you're done with your Fed time, you'll get your 6 figures. It might be 20 years, but you'll get your 6 figures. And your performance review, and that's why I like the Fed's performance review, because it got you more money.
Right.
So as long as you had like a top-notch one, you were eligible for a grade increase or a step increase. So a lot of times they do steps, and then after a certain time they just give you the grade. And it wasn't like with the state where your pen only lets you go to that grade. Like, my pen only lets me go to a grade, a specific grade, and I'm in that grade. So if, let's say my pen, let's say I'm a grade 7, okay?
Yeah.
My pen only allows me to be a grade 7, but I can have all the way up to step 30, okay? If that's it's not like the feds, they don't have that. where you get stuck. You can be like, if they put it in like, we're going to give you a grade increase. Cool. Boom. There's your grade increase. You're going to start at a grade 8 step 3 because you were already at step 8 and we don't want to take money from you. That's how the Fed works. The state don't work that way. State's a dick. But right now it seems like it's a safe bet to stay here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy. It's crazy. With more cuts to come, like you talking about, and me and my wife were just talking about it. Like we was like, well, how do you think this is going to affect the housing market? Because
the housing market already, it's already. Well, I don't know what the fuck it is, to be honest. You know what I mean?
People look at it from a standpoint of if these people don't find jobs, there's going to be a whole lot of foreclosed homes on that going to auction, short sales, everything. You know what I'm saying? That we were like, it sucks, but do we try to take advantage of that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do we try to take advantage of that? And I'm like, we could, but do we want to? And if we want to, should we? We ain't got but so many years. I think we only got like 60, 70,000 equity here. We haven't even been here 5 years. But I told her, I said, man, look, what we should do, let's do 11 more years.
Yeah.
15 years. That means half of our mortgage supposedly is supposed to be done. Supposedly. You're going to see when we get there.
Right.
But by that point, if we get loans, we can refinance if the interest rate is decent and just take that money, put it back in the house, pay the house off and keep it rolling. And then we can figure out everything else that we want to do. And if we want to keep this house or if we want to start looking for another house, if we want to rent this house out, because all we got to do is pay the taxes on it.
Right.
And if we decide to get another house and we decide to sell this house, we can get another house.
Yeah. The interest, for all that to make sense for you guys, the interest rate just has to come, the housing price and the interest rate have to, even if the interest rate stays high as fuck, the housing prices have to come down for that to make sense for anybody right now. Mm-hmm. So that shit ain't got shit to do with the government workers. That has any and everything to do with the companies that build the houses and hold that's holding the property to figure out what the fuck they gonna do. Yeah. Because if new houses are going for cheaper than old houses, then old houses have no point, you know what I mean? Have no choice but to lower their fucking so.
Because I was just looking at it from a standpoint of if we can get this house paid off, and because someone else was like, well, yeah, no, it was like it makes sense. Like after 16 years of being in the house, if you refinance and then just take the money, throw it back into the house and pay it off. I said, well, it makes sense if the interest rate isn't higher than like a 5 or 6. It makes sense then. Even though we should only have, in my head, after 15 years, we should only have maybe 150, 125 left on the house. But when we finance, it will be that, from what they were telling us, it will be that plus whatever the house is worth. So they have to appraise the house anyway.
Yeah.
So whatever we get back, we might even get back more than what we paid and then just throw it back in whatever's left. Keep that for a down payment somewhere else. And then if we decide to, move somewhere else and live there, and then we say, you know what, we don't feel like maintaining this, put it on the market, sell it, we take whatever, 300,000, whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Money comes to us. And so whatever our home is like at that point, we can now make it into our dream home of, let's say we got a split level with no deck. Oh, let's get a deck. Let's get a new kitchen. Let's do this. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Whatever is left. You know what? You want to just get some new cars? Let's get new cars and we'll get rid of, keep these for like regular use. And then let's get these. For that. You know what I'm saying? Like but that's just in my.
Yeah. I've been in, my whole thought process has changed with that lately because I got money in the stock market. I got a little different things going on. So right now, at first it was trying to see if I can rent a house. So I don't think I'm going that route anymore. Not right away, at least. So right now is more or less like you're saying, like, how do I pay this house off? So it's gonna be, or how do I get closer to, like, where the shit don't matter? Like, I might got like 5 years and still got a lot of earning potential, a lot of, let's just say I'm 45 and I got 5 years left on the house. That's pretty good. Yeah. So I'm trying to get to figure out how to, not figure out, I know how. I'm trying to get to that point because, like you said, if and when the time comes, I want to be able to move the way I want to move. And then I think about, like, yo, when me and my wife retire, we might not even want to stay in Maryland. Like, I don't know what that looks like for me. I can't tell you what that looks like in 30 years, but I want the flexibility to be able to, like, the house is paid off, or I got 5 years left to, damn, my camera went out again. Yeah. I got 5 years left for that to happen. So
that's where I'm at. It's like, I still, by the time that, the 15 years on this house goes, I'll still be working. My wife will still be working. So I'm looking at it from the standpoint of, if we can pay this house off, however we got to do it. Because, I mean, like someone told me, it was like, hey, if you refinance, they're going to appraise it and blah, blah, blah. You still got to pay the down closing costs, whatever, but you can take that out, whatever is there. And then it might all just pay itself off. You might have some money left on the back end. Keep that money, and now just start building up your money so that you can pay off other shit, so that when you're like, all right, retire this house, call your realtor, and start looking for houses, and then they start saying, oh, well, you have $300,000-$400,000, you can use whatever. And it's like, cool, fine, whatever.
Right.
And then we do that, get another house, and then we can sell this house.
Right.
Sell this house, and then whatever money we get, either we can remodel our house, take half of it, pay down part of it, take all of it, put it onto to our new house, refinance again to change the payments, get whatever money's coming out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's ways to make that money work.
Yeah, most
ways to make that money work. But the first thing is getting this house paid off, and if we can do that, sky's the limit.
Yeah, that's my main thing, because it seems like this economy is in for a whirlwind. Like, they're talking about, with all this stuff, it probably will somewhat trigger a recession. And I'm like, well, shit, the way we got stuff set up and the way everything is, it's best for us to kind of stay here.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying to my wife. I said, it's better for us to stay here right now. We don't know what's about to happen. We don't know how these interest rates are going to change. We don't know nothing. So our best bet is to ride out this Trump time and
see what happens after the Trump time.
At that point, we'll be at 8 years in this house. Because we got in this house when Biden first got in. So we'll be 8 years at this house, at this house right now. And then at that point, what's another 4 to 8 years in this house?
Yeah. Very
true.
What
I'm saying? What's another 4 to 8 years? And, and by that time, whatever we decide to do to try to pay some of this stuff down, that'll be paid off. We should be paid off, done with the timeshares, as far as those paid off. So we start being able to save money at that point. Credit cards might not be paid off, but they should be coming down depending on how we're doing it. And we should be able to move how we want to move. Now, we might have to get in between all this time. We might have to get new cars and shit like that, but you cross that bridge when you get there.
Right.
But never mind. I need to call Discover and see if they got any promos for some 0% interest. Part of me thinks I should have took it last time, but I didn't. I wanted the lower APR score, so I went from a 28.9 to an 18.9, so I'm 10 points down.
Okay.
So I took it because I didn't have as much debt as I have now on that credit card. Now I'm at the point where every time I pay it, even when they put the interest on, it goes back in the negative. So now I'm like, man, I need that 0% interest.
Yeah.
I need that 0%.
The only time 0% interest really is in your favor is if you're able, like, you about to pay this bitch off. So you you transfer the credit, and then whatever it's going to be from that point, you But like if you like, I only pay, like if you know you're gonna pay more than the minimum is what I meant to say. But if you just paying, you know how that shit go. Pay the minimum.
If you're just paying the minimum, then there's no need to do 0% interest.
Yeah.
But I don't pay, well, right now, because how high it is, I have to pay just the minimum. So for me, I'm like, if I do 0% interest and I can start chipping away at it without that interest kicking back on,
you better make sure you pay it off within that time frame.
Look, that's a lot of money. I'm trying to get it down a reasonable amount so that when that 18.9 kicks back in after that 12 months, then my payment starts $600. They would be like $400. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and then, like, you know, in every 6 months you can ask Discover what promos you have, and they say, "Oh, well, we had this promo." And if they keep saying we got a 0% interest, then we know what we do.
Yeah,
0% interest until I get it down to where it's manageable.
Yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. I got a question for you.
Okay.
Do you think when you get married as a man, the art of quote unquote macking or having game is diminished, or you think we should always be practicing that towards our wives, of course?
I don't think it ever gets diminished. I think from what I can see, that's what they still expect.
The macking?
Mm-hmm.
Some of that macking is me lying, though, back in the day.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, in general, they still want you to act like that you talking about they panties. So they still want you to be able to do it. They just don't want you to do it nowhere else.
No, understandable. I'm not saying that. I ain't saying that part.
Because there's been times my wife, even though we gonna do it, she's like you weren't even smooth about it. I'm like, and I'm just looking at her like, you were married.
Yeah, why? That's the approach I be taking sometimes. Like, why I gotta be smooth? Like, I just try to get somewhere you brushing your teeth and you let me. Like, that ain't nothing smooth about that. That's just smooth.
See, that's the spontaneousness of it.
Still,
but
I ain't come to her and say, "Girl, put that toothbrush down. I know your breath already smelling good." I ain't come to her like that or some stupid shit like and then wipe the toothpaste off the side of her mouth and then you know what I mean. I ain't do that. I'm just saying, like,
I think it's tough because women and men have two different ideas of how things are supposed to go.
Of course,
so women enjoy being chased, regardless of whether they're married or not.
True.
So once they're married, even though they're like, "Oh, okay, I'm settling down," but really they want to still be chased and look like they feel like they're being desired. And guys, once we did all the chasing and everything else, we're trying to provide and just not be stressed out and just it's two different ways of how the relationship goes.
So what about the mind fucking part of the macking and the game and stuff like that? Like sometimes women be like women would I imagine I've been in the conversation, outside of the conversation, like, oh, sometimes when I want him to do this or this and that, I just do this, and this. So as when we were dating, right, men dating, we know what that is. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of like part of our game, our Mac and shit like that. Mm-hmm. So the mind fucking part, you think enough of us still do that with our wife, or just like, yo, it's gonna be what it's gonna be, or I'm gonna just say it, and you know what I mean? If she need to take it for what it is. Hey, I ain't saying get yourself in trouble. I'm just saying, do you think the majority of, because I know what I do, I kind of flip-flop. But when I flip-flop, it's never when I flip-flop to the Mac and shit, it's never for my benefit. The shit that this is what fucks me up the stuff for my benefit, I just be straightforward with it or whatever have you, not caring how it come out. And I either get what I want or I don't.
See, I don't know if I do need that.
It's kind of like trying to trick your wife into eating vegetables sometimes. That's how it is over here. It's just like, yo, this is why you should be doing this. You want your butt to look a little, I be like that type of thing. Not necessarily that, but you get what I mean? Like, I'm always turning that charm on to benefit her, and it ain't really never benefiting me because I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I'm doing this because I know this is the way that she'll receive it. And I fail to do it in a way for stuff that I need and want so she can receive it. Do you find yourself doing that?
No.
So you turn the charm on for the stuff that you need to or want?
For the stuff I need and want, yeah, of course.
I'm fucking up then. I'm fucking up then.
I mean, because think about it. You think of it from this perspective. When does anyone turn on when we were dating unless they try and get some?
So I ain't talking about for trying to get some. That's one of the things, right?
But I'm just saying in general. So think about it. Yeah. So let's say your wife in the mood, right?
Yep. Right.
So she come down in her, when she in the mood because she don't come down in her full PJs. She come down. If she in the mood, she come down in her J's with the little shorts on. They a little bit. She doing exactly what she did when y'all were dating to make sure she got hers to satisfy you. Mm-hmm. Along with on the other side of it, if you like, man, I'm trying to get this head, you start, hey, well, what you doing, babe? Let me kiss you real quick. Let me rub up on you, get her all nice and tingly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Use it when you use it for when you want to use it. When it don't need to be used, a lot of times people just be like, all right.
I guess it don't need to be used like that on my side because like I still get the same because you could do all the sweet shit and she still be like, nah, I got some stupid shit like I got a headache, quote unquote. You know what I mean? Or not tonight. You know what I mean?
Nah, that don't happen.
That don't happen. Nah. Damn, I'm fucking up.
Yeah. You know what?
My wife ain't never said she had a headache or no shit. That's usually my dumb ass. Like, yo, cause I like let's just say I'm sick, she'll still want the shit. I'm like, yo, I can't breathe. She was like, you're all right. I'm like, I'm all right. I can't breathe out my nose. So it's the reverse when it comes to shit like that. My wife ain't never said nah. My wife ain't never said nah.
You're gonna be a mouth breather that day.
Right. But she's outside of the other shit, she's definitely said no to a bunch of shit. And I'm just like, God damn, maybe if I should have came with the sweet sincere shit first or the mind fucking shit first, and maybe I would have got what I wanted.
You know your wife better than anybody. Like,
yeah, of course.
Like, even though my wife might not ever say it, when she comes down in certain pajamas, I know what time. I know what time. Oh, that's not what I put these on because they're comfortable. Sure you did. Okay. Yeah. So it's the I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Now I want to see if you got a little bit of gain to get these off of me.
Well, yeah.
This is like it's a green light. Don't fuck it up. You know what I'm saying?
It's okay. So the sex part is I ain't gonna say it's easy. That's our wives. Yes, I'm gonna say it's easy. It's our wives. It's easy. I know what I need to do. Like, how do I like, yo, I want to go out, but I've been going out like for the last couple days. I've been out 3 times this week and I ain't spent no time with her, but I really need to go out to this particular thing because it's going to be better than the last 3. What? So you're wrong. So you just tell her. So, and sometimes there's a way where you can just tell her with finesse. And then there's no problems when you get back home.
I mean,
you know what I mean? Because if she had a problem, she has a problem. The problem ain't gonna go away because you just told her.
Well, my wife would tell me if she got problems, she'll be
and
like,
then you end up not leaving, so it doesn't benefit you.
Well,
exactly.
if she got a problem with me, like let's say, like next week is a tank fight, right?
Yeah.
So if she's like, well, look, nigga, you ain't spent no time with me, and I need that time, you want to tell your friend Stu, that motherfucker better, you ain't coming. Like, that's just what it is. And it's like, you got me on that one.
Yeah, or you do what we talked about before, and you just pay into the bucket way before time.
Yeah, I mean, but for me, I'm a very predictable person. So my wife knows that Monday through Friday.
Yo, so 3 days. So 3 days, you pay to the bucket 3 days before she gonna be like, this motherfucker want to do something that I'm probably gonna say no to.
No, she'll be like, it's Saturday. If he's not home by 1:30, he went to Crazy Crab. And it's like, all right.
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If it's football season, she knows that the Skims played, I might be like, hey, I'm going around the corner. So it's one of those things. I don't deviate from the plan or from what I do because of the fact that I'm just a person that does the same thing over and over. Mm-hmm. So, like, let's say next week, I might come in at 3:00 because I went to Crazy Crab. In her head, she's like, he's at Crazy Crab. So I already know where he is. He's probably there with the boys, making bets, whatever. And then I might say, hey, babe, Stu invited us over for the fight. You mind if I go? Now it becomes well, you ain't been, it's either you ain't been home all day or that's the day of. Or it might be like, oh, fine. Yeah, no, that's fine because that means you're gone, my son's gone, I can have the house to myself. So it might be one of those. But if I tell her ahead of time and put it in her ear, like, hey, the fights that night, student night is over, you want to go? Nah, would you be mad if I don't? No, I'm not gonna be mad if you don't go. Yeah. If you don't want to go, you don't want to go. It's one of those things where as long as you're being honest and you're saying it up front, days in advance, it shouldn't be a problem unless you fuck up between as days come up.
So listen to this. I'm glad that you said being honest and upfront. This lady wants to know if she is wrong for refusing her husband's request to sleep with someone else to ease his fears of me cheating.
Hold up. First, it took a left, and then it took a hard left. So
this is a ditch.
Let me put this in nigga terms. She mad because
no, she's not mad. No, she is mad.
She's mad and she wants to deny his request to cheat after she cheated.
No. She ain't cheat.
Okay, so she didn't cheat.
No, she is refusing her husband's request to sleep with someone to ease his fears, his insecurities of her cheating.
How does that work?
Let's listen. So my husband, 55, she's 43. They've been married for a long time. She said she loves him deeply, and over the years, he struggled with erectile dysfunction. Yep, don't choke. And it's clearly taken a toll on his confidence and self-esteem. Recently, he opened up about having this irrational fear that I'll cheat on him one day because he feels like he can't make me happy.
Because she's still younger.
Yeah. Despite my constant assurance that I love him and would never betray him, he seems to be unable to shake this fear. A few days later, he proposed something that completely threw me off. He asked me to sleep with someone with his consent. What? He asked me to sleep with someone with his consent so he can control the situation and ease his anxiety about me cheating. He planned a surprise
person, and that's not
planned a surprise trip for us last week, which I thought was really sweet. During the trip, he arranged for a masseur to come up to our room without telling me beforehand, saying it was meant to be a relaxing surprise for me. The masseur came that evening, and my husband was in the room watching while the massage started. At first, it seemed fine, but then the masseur started giving me an intimate massage that felt very inappropriate. His fingers was right between her cooch. Mm-hmm. When he crossed a clear boundary, I immediately stopped him and told him I was uncomfortable. My husband seemed completely okay with the whole situation and brushed it off as part of the experience. It left me feeling confused and upset, especially now that I think back on it in the context of this recent request for me to sleep with someone. I told him I wasn't comfortable with any of this. I feel like he is pushing me into situations that make me question the motives in our relationship. He says this is his way of addressing his fears and making me happy, but it feels wrong to me. I want to help him, but I also these actions. I also feel like these actions are crossing serious boundaries I'm not willing to break.
Well, here's the first issue. If he's suffering from erectile dysfunction, you need to get out there and start working out. Get that blood. Okay. That's the first thing. He might be diabetic, he might got high blood pressure, but that's the first thing. Like
that is a logical piece of advice. Yes.
You know, like if I got to that age and my wife is still active and wants to be sexually active, and I can't because I haven't taken care of myself, then I need to change something so that I can. Dude, that's why I go walking. That's why I exercise, all the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's why I do that so that by the time it comes from them to say, look, I know you've been healthy, you've been doing this, but nigga, you're going to have to take the blue pill. At least I kind of.
Yeah. You did what you had to do. You did what you needed to do.
I did what I needed to do. So that's the first thing. And I don't know his situation.
I agree with all of that. Very logical.
Now, the second part is and even if that happened and I struggle with it and I got to take those pills, ain't no way I'm be like, babe, I want you to go let another dude fuck you. Because what if, and even though she was uncomfortable, what if she was like, okay, cool, whatever, fuck it. So who you want me to fuck? Because you can't get it up? Oh, okay, cool. You're treading across some very, very thin ice, because what if you might be cool with let's say the dude wasn't that good, and she's like, but what if that dude took her to Pound Town and she, oh my gosh, shit, I fucking love you. You still gonna be just sitting in the corner just looking like, oh, okay. So you feel some type of way.
Yeah, me and you will feel some type of way. Very, very logical. But here's the part what I think she's missing. That dude has erectile dysfunction because maybe he likes to be the cuck and he's never been the cuck. So he can't get it up and he can't do anything unless that happens. That's why he was
much porn.
He probably maybe he likes that, or he developed the fact that I have to watch my wife get plowed or someone I know in order to get hard. I don't even think he even wants to cheat. I think he doesn't know that he's a cuck and she don't know that he's a cuck, and he might like cucking behavior. So all that shit, not all the shit, all the stuff what you were saying, very solid advice. But I don't even think that's the advice to give in this situation, because I'd be damned if I tell the masseuse, yo, go ahead and play with my wife while you massaging her. I'm not doing that. So the fact that he's willing to force that while he watched, that's more than the insecurity to me. I feel like dude is a cuck, and he's trying to put that into their relationship. So my advice to you is, to the woman, ask him if he like cuck shit, and if you don't like it, then y'all need to get divorced. Y'all probably not gonna have sex no time soon.
I can guarantee you, if that was the situation between me and my wife and I had ED, she'll look at me like, I'm not about to fuck no other dude. Get your shit together.
Yeah.
Or use your mouth.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Use your mouth. That always gets me off. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
You know, it's like, hey,
I forgot about that part.
But
he don't want that, obviously. You know what I mean?
Well, the story is a man is 55, a girl is 43, and he has ED, and he told his wife that he wants to arrange her to have sex with somebody else so that his fears of her cheating can be alleviated out of his head. She doesn't feel comfortable with it.
Right.
And he like set up this thing with a masseuse to like massage her, and he started like playing with her clitoris. And she got uncomfortable and she wants advice on like what can she do. Right. And I was like, that's what I said. If that was the case, my wife would just told me, you better get your shit together. I ain't fucking no other dude, and
that
use them out. There you go.
He's a cuck. He enjoys the cucking. That's all that is.
It does look like, because he's at 55, getting closer to 60, that he probably either he watched a lot of porn back in the day, or he just wants to see her get plowed and possibly plowed.
Is it plowed?
Plowed, yeah.
I
had to use the young words. You know what I'm saying?
That sounds like some white porn.
Some white porn.
Plowed. Yeah.
or he might want to see her have intercourse with somebody else, like in porn, and it might get him hard to do it. So we don't know if he takes any Viagra, Cialis, any of that, because even
it don't matter to me. You don't tell your wife like, yo, I need you to go cheat on me so I can feel comfortable.
Right. Cheat on me in front of me so I can feel comfortable that you're fucking somebody.
That's very awkward.
Yeah.
There's no way. That goes.
That to me sounds like a setup.
See, she said it sounded like a setup. See, I was thinking the same thing. It sounded like a setup.
Like a setup.
I just thought he was a cut.
Look, I kind of like when you told the story. I kind of thought it was like a setup. Like if she says, "Oh, sure, yeah," and then she goes in there and fuck the masseuse.
But she said no, and then he brought the masseuse up there anyway.
So maybe he's still testing her to see her loyalty. I mean, I don't know.
Listen. I don't ever want to put myself in a situation where the loyalty get tested. I'm fucking wrong, and now I'm sitting there like, damn, she let that motherfucking finger on her. I don't want to be in that situation either.
It's true, yeah. Had to get Mrs. Smith a kiss, you know. I get a lot of working out and blood work. I think I lip gloss on them. But yeah, a lot of blood, yeah. Hey, look. That's her fault for marrying somebody 12 years older than her.
Yeah, that's.
And I get it. They probably been married for like 20 years. Got him when he was young, blase. But if they're not keeping themselves up, you know.
Yeah.
Also, it could be
that is one of the 55. I honestly feel like that's too young for that to be happening. Me personally, but that's why I listen. I try to work out. I try to walk. I try to drink right, eat right. I try to do all those things because I know how enjoyable sex is.
Today's my last day drinking liquor.
Man, shut up, man.
No, really.
You said that with a straight face of your wife. Now I don't believe you.
Today's my last day drinking liquor. I'm going to drink a lot more water. I'm going to exercise more. And that way, as I get older, you know, and then I'm thinking, you know, because by the time that, you know, any of that could be happening, we'll be moved. I have a gym in the house. I can work out, get that, and keep that blood flow going strong where I don't need it. Or if it's that I do need it, it could be very low dose. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying everything to make sure that, yeah. So.
No, I get it. We got to try everything that we can try non-medically before we even result of that. Right. I'm a big proponent and fan of that. For Shorty, you need to ask some more questions. And don't be surprised if it's like, yo.
Or what if he, and this is just throwing something at the wall. What if he's cheating? And he's just not attracted to his wife anymore?
Yo, because that probably happened. But as a man, even if you're not attracted to your wife anymore, hypothetically, why you gonna sit there and tell the masseuse to like get her intimately? She wants that. I'm gonna pay you. I'm pretty sure he paid homie a little bit more money to do that. So it's kind of like none of that shit makes sense
to ease his guilt.
Nah. If I'm cheating, that's the last thing I care about or want to see.
We can't understand the inner workings of white folk. I'm assuming people are white. I'm just you can't understand the inner workings of white. Because there's I'm not saying that a black woman wouldn't have felt uncomfortable, but they might have, with the women now, they might have jumped at that opportunity. Oh, I got this nigga don't want to fuck another dick. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying.
On that note, can't understand the inner workings of white people. Word from DeLaw. That's word from DeLaw.
Honestly, word from DeLaw. Hey,
that's all.
What can I say? Hey, you can't understand the inner workings of it because it really could be. He's like, well, let me just ease my mind because I did it. Let her go ahead and do it. And then once she did it, okay, so this was going on. I've been sleeping with sleeping with Gloria across the hall, and it could have been anything. You don't know.
Yo, shout out to Gloria. We'll see you.
Shout out to Gloria.